When I was in Jamaica this past week, all the masses were described to me as being what is called a Caribbean mass, a Caribbean mass, however you want to pronounce that. And what that means for the people of Jamaica is that their masses are mostly folk style or more modern praise music, but in a reggae style, which is typical down in Jamaica. So take that as you will. Now, I get it. I'm a very stiff gringo who never learned how to dance and who can't dance and probably never will dance. And so the stereotype, at least for me, is very true, that I can't dance. But the documents of the Second Vatican Council also state that music is supposed to be in church, mostly chant, polyphony, and organ music. And so this led me to ask the question to one of the missionaries that are there in Jamaica, have you ever tried using the music that the church prescribes? And the brother replied to me, no, because whenever our Jamaican Catholics go somewhere else, say to the United States, and experience that kind of worship, it doesn't really jive with them. It's not something that they can really connect with, and they always feel kind of bored just going to a mass that would have chant or polyphony or organ music. So I could make arguments about how, we need to follow what the church says and why the Second Vatican Council said what it said about that and why popes before the Second Vatican Council and after the Second Vatican Council had prescribed that music. But my message is actually more simple this Sunday, and that is, why is it that we go to Mass? Why should we go to Mass? If we are experiencing a bad homily, or we're experiencing bad music that we really don't like, I'm not making any commentary on the musicians up in the loft, by the way, just so we're aware of that, then why come to Mass? If the sermon's not good, if the priest cannot give a good sermon, if the music is bad, is it even worth going to Mass? And the answer seems to be no, especially when Father Dimock is the one giving the homily. But we must realize that Mass is not reliant specifically upon good preaching, in the same way that Mass is not reliant on good music, and is not reliant on good vestments, beautiful vestments. It's not reliant on a beautiful church. If we're celebrating Mass in an old shack with no music, and the priest is just feeling too tired to give a homily, the Mass is still valid because the Mass is principally a sacrifice. Before everything else that the Mass is, before it being a communal gathering, be it before seeing friends and family members that we love, it is principally a sacrifice. When we put other things above that sacrifice, we are pursuing bread that will not last. You can go anywhere else, maybe in town, maybe in the United States certainly, and find better music, can find better architecture, can find better preaching of some kind. But it is only here that you can find the one true sacrifice and the bread that will last forever. I may not be here forever, I certainly won't be here forever, and maybe the music at the parish will dwindle with time as well. I hope not. Please, Flora, don't kill me. But the sacrifice persists. The sacrifice of Christ will persist from generation to generation. And that is what we are pursuing, the bread of life. In el nombre del Padre, y del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amen.